version of our national anthem.
Awesome.
From the
Absolutely awesome.
It was, wasn't
wow.
it? It's that high note. I don't know if you can hit that. I don't think I can.
There's only one way, and I'm not going to divulge how that happens.
Well, it's a big game. It's a big game here, of course, tonight, JP, and you're no stranger to big games. You took the De Pere Voyagers to state this year. Was that the first trip to state for De Pere hockey?
That was our first trip as a program to state, making it to the Final Four. It was a great run. All of our boys committed to each other. It was fun to see them work so hard and get their goals accomplished. You know, the big game was us against Neenah in the sectional final, where we had that cornerstone packed. To play in front of a crowd like that for high schoolers is amazing. To coach in front of it is something else, I'll tell you that. But it was great to be a part of. Hopefully we can get back there again next year and do a little more damage.
Well, you know, if you can win the FRCC, you've got a shot.
We know that, that's for sure.
Conference. We're underway here. And the puck dumped into the corner.
That was a weird bounce off the sideboards there.
Yeah, it hit a seam, it looked like, some kind of crazy hop. And the Gamblers will send it up the far side, tipped by Wooten. They look to break out, but they can't. It's dumped right back in near wall. Gamblers
quick
pick it
change
up there. Conroy drops it deep into the corner. Shouldering his man is Wooten. Puck up the near side, taken by Max Ryder. And he overskates. Little help from a Gambler there, making that happen. Held in at the right point. O'Sullivan
come on now.
Cross ice, comes to the corner now. And losing it there was Rosseville. Name sounds familiar. His uncle plays NHL hockey. That one sent on net. An easy stop this time for the goaltender wearing blue, which is Caleb Heil.
Good in-zone offense all of a sudden. They had that one chance right away. Lost control of it, but you're going to see more of that cross Z pass down that dot line. We're going to see more of that moving on forward in this game, I believe.
Well, anything you can do to get Heil moving side to side. He is a very tough goaltender, also one of the best in the conference. We've been talking already quite a bit about Enriquez, and Heil is similar. He's got a 90.5 save percentage. That's 9th, but his goals against is 3rd at .234 in the USHL. And of course, he did not play last Saturday when these two teams met. Instead, going with Cruitt, who's the backup tender here. Wrapped over to the near side by Morgan Brady, but not out, held in the corner. Sent on the far wall, tipped down to the goal line. Capitals still in control, dropped deep off the backhand by Bergeson. Battled for right behind Enriquez. He's
good clear.
Swishing, he's swishing from side to side there. Not sure where that one was going to come out.
Oh, they got him. We can break here. You can break here.
And played up to center to Rosseville. What a hit by Brady at the center line.
You need those early on in the game. You need to get in the body game right away in these games. That's for sure.
Tone setters right there.
It happened to be Sam Capel taking the brunt of that one, former Notre Dame Academy guy, but you know, you're on the visiting team now, Sam. Sorry.
The face-off will be inside the Gambler end as we're just underway. Every game in the playoffs tonight started at 7:05, so everything in the central time zone. Puck battled for in the face-off dot, getting tipped that time was Andrew O'Sullivan. He's back up and actually on the puck. Able to force that out to the neutral zone. Now taken on the play by Gaidash. Baird Gaidash for Butella, and then in the corner, Sam Capel. Local kid, Sam Capel, you played against him.
Yes, I played against him, and I was glad to see him go to the USHL and not play another year against me. He's a good hockey player and a good person. Respected him a lot.
Absolutely. I think that was pretty much universal. Here's puck knocked down by Katz and then sent over for Maceo Phillips.
Fast-paced game so far. Keep that up.
Yep. A lot of speed now coming through neutral. Dropped for Gertis and then sent far corner. Bouncing puck handled by the Gamblers. Nice little flip pass. Now to the blue line. Drop back.
Oh.
Second man in there that time. That was Cruz Martin who sent that high and wide, and a check by Martin on the near wall. Capitals right back in the Gambler end. Capitals have struggled all year in the first period. They've been outscored substantially in the first, 65-47.
That's meaningful. You gotta work on that one if you're gonna move on in playoffs too. You gotta start hot, but we're rooting for the Gamblers here. I understand that one. So, but that's a big key in hockey. You can start hot, start on time, as we tell people.
Well, and our FloHockey viewers out there who may be not rooting for the Gamblers potentially,
right.
We know the folks on the spot are, as it's sent over into the slot. Now back behind the net, taken by Jetty in the front. Flipped it on, came right back to him. Wooten sends
There's
across.
There's that dot line.
Yeah, that one roped on net and then knocked down over to the corner. Chipped up off the far wall. Wooten will knock it out of the zone for the moment. Dumped right back in behind Enriquez, and he'll play it there. Leaves it for his teammate, Sam Harris. Harris from the goal line. Splits the wheels, comes to the blue. Makes it hard off the boards.
Almost a little funky move on that one.
A little bit. Came back out in front.
Got to be aware if you're the goalie, that's for sure.
Yeah, Heil reacted quickly and well as the Gamblers will drop it back to the corner. Another physical play by Gully as he checked Baird Gaidash into the wall behind the net. So far, physicality has belonged to the Gamblers. 15:02 left in our opening period. Not a lot of stoppages so far in this first stanza. It's had a pretty good flow to it. And really no quality opportunities either way right now.
Nothing. Couple of nice working man qualities, but Heil had it nailed on the Gamblers side of things.
And the Gamblers are going to pick up
There's
a penalty.
Hook.
Brady O'Malley is going to go to the box for a hook, I believe.
No, I believe that's Capitals.
You're right.
Capitals got one. Let's see if that 2-3 power play for the Gamblers works here. They've been working on it quite extensively.
Yeah, Caleb Pitsley goes, but someone's going for the Gamblers too.
Oh, it evened out.
1-1.
Or no, just a water break for the ref.
I'm guessing.
They work hard too.
Guessing it's going to be Brady O'Malley once they get things sorted out here, as taking our minute break during period here at the dance camp. Showing on your screen right now. Look at that.
Well, gotta love the dance cams. Oh yeah. I used to do really good on the dance cam.
You did?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I gotta believe you for what you say.
I got two good moves. And neither of them are dancing.
And we're back to play. Who did they usher into the box? Anybody here?
Nobody. They just opened it up for the timeout. It's all right.
All right. So the Gamblers on the power play. Scored one time on it against this team last Saturday.
When you get to these games, power plays are extremely important. You've got to maintain pressure. You've got to get quality shots, and you do that. Luck happens on the hustle on these things, right? But if you can pot 50% of your power plays in a game, that's a big key.
Well, right now the Gamblers power play coming in converted during the regular season at 25.1. That was the third best in all of the USHL. This penalty kill also good. Fourth best in the USHL, allowing just 18.2. O'Sullivan sends across. Both teams gave one up last Saturday. The eventual 3-1 Gambler win. Taken up above the left circle. Sent to Katz on the doorstep.
Right, plenty of time left. Plenty of time left in this power play. Keep it under control. Find your cross, right?
Yep. Wooten and O'Sullivan playing a little two-man game. Sends cross ice.
They got him.
There's
Got him across. Oh, nice try.
Sent straight through the top of the crease over to the near corner. Wooten gathers. Far side, right in front, tic-tac, no there that time. Back on the far circle, near side, Wooten. Off the short side, he lost it, did Heil, and unable to chip it in was Elliot Gully.
Good pressure though on that. Good looks, good pressure. Keep that up. They'll fall eventually on power plays that look like that. Little scuff going on down there, but it's nothing. A couple of friends probably just saying hi. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a week.
A couple pats on the back.
No doubt.
Yeah, good effort. Good effort. And they'll keep the face-off in the Madison zone here. Good little push here by the Gamblers on this power play. 36 left on the man advantage as you saw the chances there that Gully had on the rebound.
Brawl's having his way.
Yeah, nearly got in the short side.
There you go, way to win that race.
In zone draw always so important on the power play. Jate.
Oh, nice try.
Drop out high. Wrister blocked on Samuelson's effort, and that one off the boards. 23 left on the power play. 13:03 in the period. Shots are 4-1 right now. Green Bay Gamblers.
All right, let's see what they do on this draw here. They made a nice race here. They win this draw. They're going to look for the cross ice again. Let's see if they can pull this off by the Gamblers. Capitals have to jump on these guys and win races if they're going to have a chance on these kills, though.
Well, that was a big win for them, and a length of the ice clear. One last rush opportunity here for the Gamblers if they can turn it up ice. 1-2-1 forecheck. And in all the way, Samuelson right up into the chest of Heil. Samuelson gets it back. Power play now over, but still in attack zone. Samuelson kicks it out for Beanstock.
Over the time, find him.
Back to the corner, then a shot
good
right
save
from the slot, and a big save on Jate.
But those are the shots you need, Rosie. You need those shots all playoffs long.
Back in the neutral zone, and Halfley to Heil. Fry takes a little bump as he gets rid of that puck, and Maceo Phillips on it for the Gamblers. Maceo Phillips, big boy, 6'6", 234, and we're going to have a penalty coming up. That was created by speed right there, as trying to get the edge was Cruz Martin.
No doubt. All right. Another power play.
Yep. It's going to be a tripping call coming up. I believe that's going against Baird Gaidosh, and it is.
Yeah, they're arguing it's a little bit soft, but it was a trip in any league you play in.
Yep, with the tripping call, be the second power play nearly back-to-back here for the Gamblers. And what does that do from a energy standpoint for Madison? They've used their best penalty killers not long ago. Now you get back-to-back, and they're pretty gassed.
Well, you're going to reload, but yeah, now here's where Gamblers can really take advantage and keep pounding, and keep Madison moving, right? That's the biggest key. If you can get an early goal here, come back and maybe an answer with a 5-on-5 right away too. That's what I think the plan should be, but you see if Madison answers the call too.
Definitely wears them out faster, that's for sure, as we get it near side for Wooten in the circle.
Zach Wooten's a really nice player.
Yeah, he is, and has 14 power play goals on the year. Goes out high for O'Sullivan. Now a little wrister from Carcone, got through, but then the rebound cleared. The power play goal number was inaccurate that I just shared with you. Actually, it's Katz who's got 14, not Wooten.
Well, I'd imagine Wooten has a few, though.
I imagine he does as well. I do know that O'Sullivan and Carcone are 1-2 in the USHL in the regular season in power play assists. O'Sullivan, who just carried the puck, had 25 on the power play on the year. 25 is good.
That's
in any
wonderful
situation.
Right. Big assist is just as good as the goal.
Yep.
If not better sometimes.
Gully skates behind the net. Carcone right behind him with 24. Played on the far wall. It's Carcone sent back in front. Shot goes wide from O'Sullivan, looking for a tip there out front, most likely. Back for O'Sullivan again. He'll get it back from Carcone. He's in the high slot. 41 left on the power play. Carcone back to O'Sullivan. Near side, Wooten.
Got a kick down.
O'Sullivan wide there. Katz played it. Katz now on the goal line. Tries to increase that number of goals.
Good try on the step out. Good try on the step out.
He got dropped by Doshin when he really wasn't paying attention there. Had his head down a bit, and Doshin dropped him. Here's O'Sullivan. 12 seconds on the power play. They score! Wooten! His 15th power play goal for Wooten here tonight.
You'll see it on the replay, the good motion, getting that end-to-end, east to west, passing. Great goal.
And the Gamblers take a 1-0 lead, and now 1-for-2 on the power play. You can see how it's set up here.
Set up right over across and just hammer it with a one-timer. Don't dust that puck off and put it away. Nice job.
And Gully sets a great screen in front of the tender here as well.
What they call taking the eyes.
That goal at 9:59 on the power play, and the Gamblers up 1-0 here in game one.
Oh.
Let's see if we can tune into the scoring.
Zach Wooten. Assisted by number 9, Gino Carcone. And number 6, Andrew O'Sullivan. Time of the power play goal, 9:59. Gamblers.
You heard it. Carcone and O'Sullivan on the helpers. Fed in front again, and big save from Heil there that time. Had to cut over to shut down Hafley.
Boy, I bet you the game plan right now, if you're Coach McCadden, you're telling them keep pounding, keep pounding, keep pounding. Get another one quick here.
In the corner, Hafley sends out, but comes right back his way off Samuelson, and that'll be cleared.
You know, on the other side, Coach Andy Brandt saying, hey, boys, you got to wake up and start moving your feet a little bit here. We got to get it down to the other end and keep it there.
Yeah, oftentimes taking a couple of penalties early, too, is a symbol of the other team's out hustling you. That's what
Correct.
When you have to hook or trip to slow them down as the puck comes out near side from Prudhomme. Taken back by the Gamblers, and off deflection right back behind the net off the stick of Jete.
Climb it down, cycles it back nicely.
Well, that was
Needs a little help now.
Conboy back down for Jete, and then Wooten will keep it moving on the near side. Holding it in momentarily there was Beanstock. Broken up by the Capitals, broken up again by the Gamblers, but the Caps jump back on it and dump it into the corner near side.
Those shots are still 9-1 right now.
It's been a pretty dominant performance here so far defensively from the Gamblers as well. Here's a chance though, in on net, they score. My goodness.
I shouldn't have talked, I guess. That was a really nice snipe.
I believe that was Bergeson.
Yep.
Nope.
No, Frey.
It was Harper Fry.
Harper Fry coming down from the point.
So Fry on the goal. Well, you don't need to have many chances if you convert most of the ones you have, and they just did at 12:10 of the period.
You know, Fry did a nice job making sure he got into the middle of the ice inside the dot line to get that rip off. And Henriquez is probably getting a little bored and, you know, a little bit stale. That happens sometimes. Hopefully they wake up and come right back at it for the fury of the Gamblers. Good job by answering the call for the Capitals, though.
That was a really good shot there that time by Fry as well. He got it up just under the crossbar, it appeared. It's often where you want it. It's hard for even top goaltenders to make some of those shots. Sometimes the shot just beats you.
Goals go in.
Yep. And they let Fry get in pretty deep there to take that shot off a good angle as well. So just as we were touting the defense and the shot differential.
Right.
Madison makes the Gamblers pay on a mistake. O'Sullivan recovers.
I didn't notice what line was out there for the Gamblers. It could have been a mismatch.
Taken in the near corner by Stout. Right back to Gully, though, and Gully has pickpocketed when he's contacted in the neutral zone. Dumped deep by Culver.
Gamblers had numbers back, though.
Yep. Covered well here as it's played by Culver again, now back to the far side. Off a stick into the corner. Grievous, there's a chance on, and knocked away by Enriquez.
That hit the upper netting, and the refs didn't see that.
I thought so too. The ref didn't see it, but the Gamblers are trying to point it out.
It got cleared, so you didn't have a face-off in your own end anyway. That's okay. Now it's fine.
Back to the blue line. And here's Max Ryder. Left it to the back of the net. Getting twirled around that time was Harris on the play. Nice little saucer pass. Dumped in then by O'Sullivan.
Gamblers on a quick change here, see if they can put something here together.
Unable to hold the zone, at least for the moment. Baird Gaidash to the corner. Banked for Harris.
Got the second line out there for the Gamblers, see if they can produce something here.
Puck comes off the stick of Rosseville, but he's trying to battle for it against two Capitals on the near side. He gets some help there from Halfley. Pins his man down. Puck's already out. Halfley and Ryder get up off the ice, and we get a whistle for.
I don't know. Did it hit the netting or something? Or?
Well, it's apparently slam cam time here on Bud Light night. And I don't know if Mark Tauscher's in the house anywhere. Or
remember that one? That was good. I remember that. Uh-oh.
Any fans of...
Hey, it's a Friday night. Have at it. Just don't drive home, guys.
All right. As long as they got an Uber,
no
doesn't
doubt.
matter. And they're taking care of business.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. This guy's a pro.
Pretty good. That was pretty good. I don't know what the time was, but...
Right?
That was pretty good.
Here we go. Here we go from the party pit.
That's where you got to go. The party pit. Well,
oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't...
And style points for the mustache, too.
Oh, yeah.
Good bumper.
Oh, that guy's leaking.
Sleeping.
That's a leaker. You can't even count that one.
No, can't count that one.
Too much came out. And these guys are down to their final few ounces.
Some guys from Wausau, the Cyclones hoodies on. Here we go. Uh-oh. He spilled.
Sure, too. Oh, goodness.
Uh-oh, here we go. Bring the ladies
into
it.
Tip it back.
Bring the ladies into it.
All right, there it is.
Hey, nice work. She wins.
You have loudest applause of the night so far.
Back to hockey action now.
Face off in the neutral zone.
Got Gambler's first line out there.
Yep, Conboy takes the draw. Wins it back to Maceo Phillips in his own end. Now for Beanstalk, and slides it around, cut off by Heil. 1-1. Heil waited a while to play that puck, got pressured from the backside by Wooten.
Oh, good stick. Good stick by, who is that, Greaves?
Yep, they're trying to get it to Jete there that time on the near side. Jete gets a chance.
Try.
It's gloved by Heil. He'll hang on.
You know, overall so far, we've got 4:55 left. Gamblers are looking very well. They're keeping composed. One blip on their goal, but if I'm Patty, I'm not worried about that right now. Keep doing what you're doing. You're out playing right now, right? Now you look back and looking at what Andy will say to his guys. He's saying, listen, just keep the momentum going, and we have that last one. We got to get it down there. We've got to get quality shots.
So they'll bring once again to the dot Conboy, and he gets it back for Jete. Running a play here over to Jete in the middle for Wooten, and that's a kick save made. Good play there that time by the Gamblers. Did everything but put it in the back of the net.
I like how quick they're moving that puck on touch passes too.
Yep, very well executed there that time. Drop back to the corner. Shots 11-2, but score 1-1. On the far wall now near side. It's Gertis. Gertis to himself off the wall, right through the crease. Got touched by Enriquez. He was headed parallel to him there, or perpendicular to him, however you want to look at it. Wasn't going in other words.
Good battle on the boards here. Needs help.
Yep. Therbicki involved for the Gamblers. Comes back out to center.
You know, and everyone watching, all your young hockey players at home, when you get in those individual battles, how to work your way into getting that puck back in possession. That's huge in the game of hockey. You can't just pass those up.
Played along the wall into the corner by Pitsley before he's marked and heads off the ice. Chipped into Stout right into his midsection and played back in the zone by Kulchin. Pried off the wall up into the neutral zone. Here's Gully, turns around, sends it back to go wide, but instead it's disrupted by Heil. Off the glass, this will trickle into the zone. Not enough on it to be an icing call, and Kulchin will keep it going to the far corner. A little tip on the play, held in zone there that time by Doshin.
It was the right try, though.
Partial change.
Ooh.
Right off the tippy top of the glass and out. They get a ruling of a tip so they can change lines.
They can change lines. Comes a couple of my guys selling tickets. All right.
Yeah, the 50-50
50-50 raffle out here. Supporting Deep Here Ice Arena.
Yeah.
Great thing to do.
Tell me a little bit about that project if you can. I know you're playing in the De Pere Ice and Event Center.
Right, we play there. Well, currently you have Rink 4 at Cornerstone going up, and that project gets well on its way. It looks like it's going to be real successful. Looking at our rink in De Pere, you know, we're looking at getting rink improvements, hopefully getting enough money to do a phase 1 improvement of the lobby, some new locker rooms, fixing up our boards and glass and all that stuff. Of course, more is needed, but we can work on that. But that's what they're working on for the last couple of years now. We're starting to get some headway on getting some good capital in there to start that up.
So much good youth and high school hockey in the area, right?
Oh, it's great.
Got to find places for everybody to play and get ice.
Well, the best part about it is the latest push that we've had with youth hockey. We got a lot more kids playing hockey, utilization of the rinks. That's the important part, which now you can see, okay, you're getting the utilization, you're getting your bang for your buck. That's why it's needed. More is needed all of a sudden, so that's great. And we don't see it turning around anytime soon in our area.
No, not at all. All right, that's a length of the ice flip, so it'll be an icing call against the Gamblers. And the face-off off to our left-hand side. And the near dot, it'll be Samuelson on it, up against Kaweja.
Here we go now. Whoa.
Played through the neutral zone and back across the blue, but no one there but Fry.
Yeah, a little muscle in there.
Taken in the wall by Hafley, but he stayed on his skates, able to control it, and they'll turn around the other way.
Ooh, watch the
Grieva
net.
sends to the corner, back for Grieva at the goal line, and that one off a stick and does touch the netting in that far corner.
See, here's where that momentum we were talking about, right? Capitals is making a push here. Green Bay's got to really concentrate on getting it down into their offensive side of things and keeping it there. 2 minutes left in this period. Don't do dumb things. Get it out. Work if you can get a goal, great, but keep it down there and keep working.
So the draw will be taken by Pitsley and Gully. Just over 2 minutes left in a tie hockey game here in the first period. That's a trip if the arm goes up, and it does.
It does.
Guilty party will be Bergeson, I believe. Down on the play went Jete.
And those are a shame when those happen. It's an accident, but it is a tripping. Rule's a rule on that. There's no way it was intentional. That's a hockey play that happened to be.
Well, the offensive zone penalty is certainly something you don't want to take either, right? You're so far away from your own net front.
Right.
But nonetheless,
we got Unit 2 out there.
Yep, the third power play pretty much use up the rest of the period, and then a 1 second carryover into the second if nothing else happens or the Gamblers don't score. 1 of 2 so far on the man advantage, and that puck will hop out of the zone. Tracked there by O'Sullivan, and he'll go behind his tender.
Get that breakout 7 up, he'll send it over.
Gatz, Gully, Wooten, and Carcone power play unit. Here's Katz cutting in toward the slot, drops it low. What a pass. Big save on Gully there
really
that time
nice
by
save.
Heil.
Really nice save.
Near side, Wooten. Cross ice it goes to Carcone, back for Wooten. Tipped on its way to the corner. Katz will send it back up for Carcone. Carcone in the circle, reverses direction.
You know, they're giving him a lot of room to go down to that corner. Capitals are. You can't be too respectful though on a penalty kill. You've got to challenge at some points.
O'Sullivan flipped that just wide of the net, and Heil made an easy glove stop, keeps the face off in. You see that a lot when you're facing like the #1 unit.
Yes.
You know, because those guys, you're just trying to keep everything perimeter, not allow what the Gamblers had a chance at with Gully in on the doorstep.
Right.
Then you get the #2 unit out here, which is.
Well, and you're talking USHL, you're talking all these guys can play it, without a doubt. So.
Oh, yeah. All right, still got the #1 unit, though, Carcone. To O'Sullivan, near side for Wooten, 1:02 left in the period. O'Sullivan sends far side, Carcone in front for Gully, and that got by him.
Almost. Good look, though.
Yep. Gully's found himself right on that doorstep a couple of times.
Being left alone, it's a little strange.
Yep.
Oh, nice try to
inside. Yep, got the inside pad there that time, and then grabbing the stick.
Nobody there for the quick up, but everybody's changing.
35 seconds as the Gamblers look to come out of the zone. They cough it up.
Don't be careless.
Here's Stout. Took some time, dropped it all the way into the corner, and Enriquez waits for the Capital to jump.
Those are things that get a coach nervous, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Why not just reverse direction with that? Somebody come out the other way. 13 seconds left, puck tied up in zone, and right now this is going nowhere for the Gamblers. 7 seconds, they get a rush in now. Chance on, deflected on its way, never got on net. Here's Samuelson.
One last one.
And off the near boards. And we get the horn here at the Rush Center. Well, the Gamblers got on the board first at 9:59. It was Wooten from Carcone and O'Sullivan. It didn't take the Capitals long, though, to get back in it at 12:10. They tie the game with Fry in one of only 3 shots in the period. Shots on goal, 14-3 in favor of the Gamblers.
You know, and Gamblers' first goal on the power play, great motion, great shot. They got to keep moving those one-touch passes around so they can open themselves up for good-looking shots. Get the Capitals goalie going post to post, so you have those openings, you have those spots that you can sneak a puck through on those nice chances that you get. On the other side, Enriquez wants that one back without a doubt. We'll give it up. That's a good shot by Fry that he had into that. So that's where we stand right now, but I'll give that period probably a good A period by the Gamblers.
Nice.
Right, no A+ because they got one against them, but they're outplaying them. Shots 14-3. Without a doubt, that looks really nice.
We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have Kirk Luedeke, the Green Bay Gamblers Director of Scouting and Assistant General Manager, who no doubt spent most of his day at the Combine earlier today. We'll get a chance to talk to him for a few minutes after this. You're watching Green Bay Gambler Hockey on the Spot.
There you go, buddy. Hi, I'm Kirk. I'm your guest.
You are. You're my guy.
I'm your guy, Kirk Luedeke.
Yeah,
nice to meet you.
We got a few minutes. 3 minutes.
All right.
You guys are ready in 3, 2, 1, go!
So I'm sure you were over at the Combine today?
I was.
Starting off aggressive.
Am I back at the 3-minute mark? No. After 3, we'll go for 3, and then we have another 3. See a lot that you liked?
I wouldn't say a lot, but
Futures guys today, right?
sure. Well, yeah, it's the 08s and 09s.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it's the older group. I've got a good team. They're fun. They're fun to coach.
Yeah.
But the talent's a little bit like at this. Like the 09s are in tough because we have 14 that we are on our list, and we got to get to 8 next year. So it's hard.
Okay.
It's hard for them to get traction.
Yeah.
Because they got to be better than the guys we're going to keep.
Yeah.
And we got to, 6 guys are going to make our team. 3 might, maybe 4. But those guys that aren't, we're going to have to release them. So who are you going to draft?
What do you think,
The guys that
Ace?
you would draft this year have to be that much better than the guys.
That goal does not count.
Yeah, and it's I'm not too familiar with how the whole system works. So I did some research on that today, and it sounds like it's even different than what I read. But
So any idea what you want to talk about or ask?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. One, I'm going to ask you about the experience today, what you saw, and then we've got the phase 1 draft coming up soon. Phase 2 comes up in May, right?
So both of them are there. It's the Monday and first Monday and Tuesday of May.
Oh, really? They're back to back.
Back to back. So it'll be phase 1 first and then phase 2.
Phase 1 are the younger kids, the future kids.
2010s.
Okay. Phase 2 is
Any junior eligible, so 06 to 09s. Can't draft the 10s on the phase 2. Used to be able to. We now increase the 10s down, so it's all the 10s.
These left are get 1. Come on.
30 seconds.
All right.
Camera's right there.
Team Yellow and Team Yellow. Also, give a round of applause for Team Black. Great game of soccer tonight.
Welcome back, Green Bay Gambler Hockey. We're in between periods 1 and 2 here. It's a 1-1 score as we await second period action. Joining me right now is Kirk Luedeke. Kirk, you are now the Director of Scouting and the Assistant General Manager of the Green Bay Gamblers. And this time of year, it's a busy time for you. I'm sure all year it is. But right now, you've got the Combine you were at today, and in just a little bit, you got the Phase 1 and 2 drafts. Tell me a little bit about how the Combine works.
Yeah, the Combine's a great opportunity for the players to come in and show off their skills. There's an on-ice and an off-ice testing component to it, and then they'll play 5 games, and every team is coached by a member of the USHL staff, and it has to be a bona fide staff member, so it might be a general manager or someone like me that's director of scouting, an assistant coach, or even an area scout for a team.
So you mentioned there's some on-ice and off-ice. I'm sure the off-ice has something to do with conditioning, but also hockey IQ, I'm guessing. You got to figure out, are these guys, ready to contribute in a smart way on the ice? How does that evaluate it?
It's a great question because, a lot of the players have the skill, they can skate and they handle pucks well, but we're really looking for the details, the habits. Do you stop on pucks? Do you stop at the net? Are you cheating for offense? Are you back checking hard? For me, I think a lot of kids, they equate success with scoring. And for me, I don't really want to see a fancy toe drag. I'd like to see a good hard back check and a stick lift that prevents a grade A scoring chance. So the good news is my team that I'm coaching, I've got Team Connor, got kids all over the United States and even international. My goalie's Hungarian. I'll just tell you, these guys are buying in and they're playing hard, and it's a lot of north-south, good gambler-style hockey. I've been trying to inculcate that, and they've responded, they bought in. So we're 2-0, and it's been a positive experience so far.
So how is the team you're coaching determined? Because I know it's a bunch of 5-on-5 hockey here for the weekend to help you do your evaluation. How is that determined, the guys that you have?
Yeah, I think the league does a great job. Frank Butler is our director of player development, and he puts everything together. The misconception is because the Combine is in Green Bay that we're in charge of it, and we're not. It's a USHL event, and Frank Butler is the guy, and he just watches a lot of hockey. He's familiar with a lot of these players, and I think he mixes the teams, size element, experience element, an even blend of 09s and 08s in this particular Combine. Next week we'll have the 10s and 11s here, okay. So the younger kids. But no, the teams are pretty evenly matched for the most part, and he just tries to mix it up so that he's getting players that don't know each other and they get a chance to bond and develop some relationships that might end up them being junior teammates down the road. Who knows?
So these guys are 16 to 18 years old, essentially, if I do the math correctly. So you're eligible for juniors at age 15, I believe, and you can run up until your age 20 season. So these guys are right in the middle. Are these mostly guys who've decided to play a couple of years of high school hockey, or maybe all the way through their career before coming into juniors, or how are they out in this player pool right now?
Yeah, so this player pool are kids that have not been drafted in the USHL.
Yeah.
None of them are junior players. They're all playing AAA or high school. I have 2 Minnesota high schoolers on my team, one from Delano and one from Centennial High. I've got a couple of New England prep kids. One was the champion on the Avon Old Farms championship team this past March. I actually watched him win the championship, and a good kid. Stevie King is his name, and then there's a bunch of Midwestern kids from AAA programs like Windy City Storm and Chicago Fury, and teams like that.
All right, well, now that the fans and I are a little better educated on how this process works, we actually will have you back between periods 2 and 3 tonight and talk a little bit more about how a 23-man roster for the Gamblers takes shape, and your role in that and your scouting department's role in that, and we'll do that after the second period, okay?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you, Kirk Luedeke. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with second period action shortly. It's 1-1. We'll bring our partner JP Capo back into the booth, and we'll recap first period action. After this, you're watching Gambler Hockey on the Spot.
I think it's pretty special. Means a lot to me. Very good program. A lot of good things for you. So I'm excited to be here. Means a lot.
For more Gamblers coverage, you can watch NBC 26 or head to our website, NBC 26.
All right, fans, it's time to shoot small. Crazy Puck Shuffle. Let's go down and meet tonight's contestant.
Yes, I am Alan with Isaac. This is Isaac. Isaac's very first game ever.
Good interview.
Playoff game. So what an exciting night for Isaac. And he's excited to play the shoot square and run Crazy Puck Shuffle with me. Isaac, are you ready? Yes. All right, he's ready to go. He knows the rules. You just have to find out which little glove the puck is under. Keep your eye on that puck. Here we go. If Isaac really needs a pizza for Shoot Bar and Grill. Sounds good right about now. All right, Isaac. I hope you're ready to keep your eye. What do you think? Number 1. He's very confident that it's number 1. He's 100% correct, guys. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Play. Thanks for being here tonight. High five. Let's go Gamblers, right?
About 90 seconds.
Okay.
Hey, so one thing I would ask of you, like when a play is happening, like they're threatening to score a goal or they're right in front, try not to jump in with who's or what a shot. But what you're doing when you're coming in the middle of the action, that's great. I don't mind that at all. Just kind of give me a little nudge like you've been doing. Right. Say you want something to say. But those little quick reactions kind of throw off the flow. Gotcha. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. Sorry. No, that's okay. You're learning.
So much more. The kids' club is open to all kids 14 and under. Start with the Gamblers information table in the lobby. And sign up today for this $50 per member. Ladies, here we talk about this part of the official recovery rate for the Green Bay Gamblers. Compared to playing one or more sports drinks in the NCAA. I just retired muscle sport, like the Gamblers and Green Bay's Gary Chalkville. Fans, do you think you know your Gamblers playoff history? Let's find out. So this game, the QR code will take the quiz. We'll check out. The late matches later tonight's game to see where we're going to.
Welcome back to the Resch Center. Tim DeRozier and JP Capo back with you. We're in between periods 1 and 2, and the Gamblers and Capitals are tied at 1 apiece. We mentioned already the shots on goal fairly lopsided here, 14-3 in favor of the Gamblers. And all it takes is one. It was a really good shot that Fry put on Enriquez right under the crossbar. Gamblers defensively, it looked like, gave him a little more room than maybe you'd like to see to get that shot off.
Well, and the way the play developed, it looked like they were lost. They were looking for more towards what's going on towards my net that I got to be aware of, other than what happened on the outside, how it developed into a straight lane position. Those will happen, but you got to be aware anytime on the ice in your defensive zone. You got to have your head on a swivel. You have to be looking around. Some people say take pictures. Some people say, make sure you're taking straight lines, but that's the biggest key to it.
As a coach, when you're in a game of this magnitude, it's a playoff game, just talk about what you're trying to impart to the team. I know there's some that say, well, you play it like every other game. You don't want to, make too much of it. Well, it's the playoffs. The guys are probably making quite a bit of it in their heads already. So what are you trying to do as a coach to keep them in the right spot?
You're trying to make sure that they recover correctly, right? If you get 3 guys caught down low in your own end, you lose the puck, that could be an odd man rush against you. So you're reloading. You're being very specific on your moves that you're telling them to do. You're not overdoing it with them, because you want to see speed, you want to see the creativity, you want to see them win those races and battles, but you're getting specific on a couple of key points. That's what you're trying to do to these guys, like make sure you do this, whatever it may be, or do that, whatever it may be, but you're being very specific on that.
I'm guessing coach for the Gamblers, Pat McCadden, has to be feeling pretty good about the team's discipline here tonight. They've yet to allow a power play. They've been on the power play 3 times, and yet this is one of the most penalized teams, in fact, by far the most in the Eastern Conference in the Gamblers, versus a Madison team that's right around the middle of the pack. They've drawn the calls, but they haven't taken the calls, and that's a huge advantage on the special teams.
Well, and that's because they're playing with a high-intensity speed right now. That's the biggest key to it. You hit it on the head in the first period. When the Capitals have taken penalties against the Gamblers, it's because they didn't have any other choices, really. Gamblers are moving their legs, out hustling, winning races, and sometimes things are just going to give. That's a big one. Now, in turn, very nice job in discipline on the Gamblers. Knock on wood. Hopefully they keep doing that. And I got to think that the Capitals are going to come out with a little bit of gumph after they just said, hey, okay, we got to step this up a little.
You would think so, and we'll see that here in just a couple of minutes. 1-1's our score, getting set for second period action here on the spot.
Oh, wow.
Break should take us up until they're dropping the puck.
So a couple old parents of mine that I was just talking to over there, that's their son. I didn't recognize him. His girlfriend was the one that did it. It's great. We had her winning it, that's for sure.
Try to have to coffee or swap.
Not an antibiotic.
Oh, get it all.
I'm not going to get sick or anything.
Can you do me a favor? Can you talk into your headset? I'm going to try to make an adjustment here and see if I'm doing this right.
My name is JP Koppel. I'm here with the Gamblers. Keep talking. We got a red line, a blue line, 2 refs out there. Guys are stretching out really nice.
Doesn't seem to matter where I have the phones.
They have nets out there. Beer garden looks busy. See Jack Ritchie over there. All these guys came to watch a Gambler game. How are we doing now? Any better? It is what it is, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to matter what I do with the local or the program or your levels or the headphone levels.
Lanes, yeah.
It's weird. It's not bad when it's quiet. Like when it's quiet in here, I can hear you.
Right.
But if there's any cheering or music, which there usually is,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing this.
Huh? Yeah.
All right, nice job. Let's get it going.
Let's go going.
Welcome back as the 1 second worth of power play action has expired here in the second period. We're just a few seconds into the action, and the Capitals fire one wide of the net off the back wall and are playing it over to Pitsley. He's going to be disrupted there, and Gamblers take it away at the goal line, send it over to the near side. Held in the zone. 5-on-5 hockey, 1-1 our score.
Got an odd-man rush here.
And Wooten leads it. He'll take the shot right up into the chest. Wooten will track down the rebound. Wooten curls in the high slot, sends it near side. Harris takes his chance. Pillow save made. Rebound comes right over to the near side.
Couple of high-quality chances there, Rosie.
Yep. Cleared out by Pitsley. Putting the arm down to hold that puck for the Caps was Koeja. As the Gamblers will resume control again back behind the cage. I haven't been called Rosie in some time,
hey,
JP.
I told you I'm going to give you a nickname from now on.
You did.
Yep.
Twirling with the puck are the Gamblers. I appreciate it. I've been called much worse.
I didn't do it to you. You know, important on the second period is the line changes. Can't get caught on what we call dumb changing, right?
Yeah,
sometimes you get caught.
Change.
Well, you got to stick with it. Long changes.
Yep. And talk about what's especially difficult about that.
Well, because you're coming from your opposite defensive end, right?
Yep.
You make the mistake and take a long change. Say you're on the wide side of the ice from your box, right?
Yep.
All of a sudden, a quick turnover can mean an odd man or a breakaway situation. That's what you got to guard against.
Exactly, and you know sometimes you see teams sneak in a change while they're in the offensive zone a lot more, where they're right next to their bench.
That's right.
Up high, Beanstalk sends it across. One-timer is shut down there that time. Played back out for Beanstalk at the center line.
It was a really good save by Heil there.
Near side, dropped off to Katz. He'll take the chance. That one handcuffed Heil a little bit.
Just on the shoulder.
Yeah. Just got up a little high. There's a chance from Carcone that popped up and over, and it'll be cleared out of here by the Caps. Doshin to the corner, ridden off by Beanstalk. Held in at the left wall and sent back to the corner near side to Snee. Snee heads off now on a change.
Big man Phillips is getting into it.
What a tip over there that time. Drop Dexter Brooks on the near side. Brooks back along his own blue now. Over for Doshin. Behind the Gambler cage. Held there by Green Bay again. Pinned on the wall. Caps finally force it free. Up at the blue line, intercepted on a lazy pass, but Gully couldn't hold it. Now to the center line for Carcone. He'll lift it in, and they'll execute a change here. As the puck settles in the offensive zone, cut off by Knutson. Oh, he had a great look there that time, trying to shuffle it over to Drabicki.
Great read on that intercepted pass.
Yeah, great
really
defensive play. Yep, exactly. Up into the near corner.
Another dig. Another dig.
Yep. Just saw one of these, and takes a lot of energy out of you as that one comes free. Finally pulled away, though, by the Gamblers as it came to Grieva at first. Held in, now Fry, the goal scorer here for the Caps. Getting twisted on that far side was Gertis. Caps doing already a better job of holding the attack zone here in period number 2.
And I think that was part of the game plan. Like, let's keep it in the corners, get the Gamblers pulled out of position, see if we can't create something that we see openings in the middle of the ice, in the middle of the zone.
They've yet to get a shot in this period. Neither team has had a shot on goal yet in this period, almost 5 minutes in.
I think they're missing a couple of them. I think I remember had a couple that we saw, but
yeah,
those can be updated.
Like 18-3 was what it read after 1, and it still reads that here on the scoreboard.
Never know, the clicker could be broke.
As it's sent for Tang in the corner. Now Tang just avoids the elbow there that time of Sam Harris. Gambler goes down, looking like he was trying to draw a call there. It was Cruz Martin. All the time he was sliding on his stomach, he was looking at the official. And we're going to get a offside call of a very delayed variety. That'll bring up our immediate timeout. Now this one, we have to do play-by-play for. This is my favorite timeout of the game.
Beer can race?
Oh yeah.
Who you picking? Who you picking first?
Yep. I'm going to go, last time, I'm going to go with Bud Light.
I'm going to go with Tall Slim. I'll go with Ultra out there.
Okay. All right. Now, last time I lost this bet.
What do you want to bet?
I had Ultra, and Budweiser won it. So we're going with Bud Light. It is Bud Light night tonight here at the Resch. And you're going to know very early, Busch Light. Bud Light getting their stride. Busch Light way in the lead, though.
Oh, look at Ultra. Come on, get it in gear.
All the wind resistance of the tall can, I think. Busch Light, end to end. Not a single. Oh, well, at least your Michelob Ultra provided the excitement.
Mick Ultra got crushed.
Yeah.
Thank God he had a helmet on. Good
Kind
deal.
of like when two guys have a fight out there just to get the crowd into it. That's really what Ultra did there.
That's what Ultra did, right?
Yep. Yep. I still think they need to have an opposition out there. It's too easy.
No, they need a maze or something. Right? That would be good.
Obstacle course
or just
on their
back
way
and
through.
you got to take a corner, so you got some slippage going on.
Yeah. Or make it like the ninja.
Yeah.
The old ninja show. Whatever that was. I'm forgetting. Whatever.
Right.
American Warrior or whatever it was, where other guys would come out there and pop you. All right, one back to Bryant.
All right.
Tipped. Right back to the stick of Rossable.
Get some in-zone offense here.
Yep. Came back to the near side, pushed his Halfley, and the puck will be lifted out to neutral. Settled down there by Morgan Brady. Back to Rossable. Wearing number 97, drops it back to the corner for Halfley. Halfley reverses direction, had some room on the goal line, tried to get it back out for Rossable, who was well marked.
See if we can get some 97 magic like Connor McDavid has with it, eh?
Exactly.
Yep.
Up into the bench area. Well, it looks like Edmonton's going to make the playoffs.
I saw Connor, he had a nice hat trick the other night. They've gotten some points. I don't know if Detroit's going to make it. The Red Wings.
Not looking good.
No.
Although they had a big game last night, they won.
Right,
so that
but
was nice.
They get a loss and they're done. I know that. That's
Not many games left right now. Regular season ends midweek.
Right.
Most teams with 3 or 4 games remaining. Broken up inside the blue line. I only know that because I'm winning my fantasy league right now as that gets sent to them in the championship round right now.
Attaboy.
And it's neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
We play all the way until the end of the season here this week.
Nice.
The out-of-town scoreboard. Right now, the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders up on Muskegon early in the second, 1-0. That's in the other Eastern Conference matchup. Out west, Tri-City Storm trailing the Musketeers 2-1. And in what is game 2 of their series already, they opened last night. Lincoln with a 3-2 lead over Des Moines. That would tie the series at 1 apiece if that score would hold.
Good games all the way around this league right now.
Absolutely. There's a chance on with a blocker save. Chate again sneaks in from the near side.
You know, and on our side of it, you have Dubuque and Youngstown with the buys.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Youngstown with the 1 seed and Dubuque with the 2. So if the Gamblers would advance here, we certainly don't want to look ahead at anything in a 1-1 game on game 1 of the series. But the Gamblers, being the 3 seed, would get the lowest remaining seed, who would be Dubuque. And it's interesting when you look at the results on the year, the Gamblers have done so well against the top teams in the conference. So they are 5-2-1 on the year against Dubuque.
That's great record.
7-0-1 against Madison, as we've covered, and then Youngstown, who won the East by a pretty good margin. 2 wins, 1 loss, and a shootout loss. So ending up taking more points from Youngstown than they took from the Gamblers, and those are the 2 teams ahead of them. Where they struggled were with the Cedar Rapids and Muskegons of the world at 1-3 against both of those teams.
Well, and you're looking at a Gamblers team that knows how to keep consistency with that mid-season streak that they had.
Yep.
Of how many games in a row wins?
14.
14 games in a row. That's amazing at this kind of a level.
It really is. At any level. This one in particular, though, when you're facing USHL competition every night.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, most of those are back-to-backs on the weekend, and you're probably not starting your number 1 goaltender each one of those games, right? You
need breaks.
Complete
Absolutely.
Team effort. There's Carcone triggering that hit a blocker into the glass. Carcone will wrap it around, far side. Brady cuts it off, right point. Trying to feed it back in front for Gully. By the time they got it there, yep, he was covered.
You know, they're getting good looks, but if they can get those looks a little closer to the net, it's going to start popping. A little too far out right now.
Brady goes to Carcone. Shots now 20-3. Into the corner, held by Enriquez.
Got the, yep, about to say you have a slide guy up here.
Carcone drops it then to Gully as Tang gets dropped. Picked off by Carcone, but he couldn't hold it. And O'Malley chips for a teammate on their own blue. It's going to be Brady, back to O'Malley. Near side, Katz. Taken off the stick of Knutson.
Nice hustle.
Yep. Knutson now to Drabicki, and he'll lose it on the back wall.
A lot of chess game hockey going on right now with both teams.
Yeah, it's almost like a feeling out process, even though you usually see that in the first.
Right.
Or the third, when both teams don't want to make a mistake. But here we've got it in the second. Slid right out to the blue line and lifted back into the Gambler corner. Fed forward to Grabicki. And then
a little change.
Yep, a little change behind the play. 1 Gambler out there on the forecheck. That was Drabicki. He'll head off now to complete the change. Puck back to the corner. Boy, the Gamblers defensively right now, the Capitals can't get anything in the interior. A break opportunity, and Hafley couldn't play it. He tried to drag it up to his forehand on the reach and just lost it off the edge.
Just trying to get from post to post to get to his backhand. It was just outside of his reach. It was the right move to try, but just got outside of his reach.
Putting the cart before the horse, kind of like a receiver starting to run before they catch the ball.
You got it. You got it.
Just about halfway through already in this fast-moving second period. Still,
not many whistles. Not many whistles at all.
No, there have been very few icings so far in this game, which can often be something that grinds things to a halt. And really not a lot of chances on goal in this second that forces the goaltender to draw a whistle. Here's O'Malley. Hafley pushes his man out of the way.
Try to control the half wall now.
Yep, Brady crashes in from his D spot on the far side, and puck will come free. Taken off the stick of Samuelson, right in front of his own cage. Turning that around was Brady O'Malley. Get a little uncomfortable when you're handling the puck 1 foot from your goaltender, but able to turn it out of there.
Good recovery by Ryder to get on sides for the Capitals on that one.
Yeah,
that was
great
close.
Point.
Stretch it out like a goalie looks like when he's doing the splits.
O'Malley held his man away long enough for Samuelson to pick up the loose change.
Can they get the fourth? Never mind. They're going for a change. Long shift.
Yep, held on the goal line and the Capitals' own end. Active sticks creates a turnover chance on Jete right into the belly of Heil. And there's a hit after the whistle. That one may actually draw a call. We'll see. Halfley was dropped, and often after the whistle in the kitchen, you don't get a call.
They're not going to call it. They, I'm sure that number 3, who is that did that to him? Gertis, he knew the guy. He was saying, hey, I love you, but get out of my way. Get out of my goalie's kitchen here. No doubt about it. Those happen in hockey, and I say good for the refs not calling that one, but you're going to have to let it go on the other side because you know it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, exactly right. And oftentimes, obviously, they do let a little more leeway happen when it's right out in the goaltender's kitchen. But if it's severe enough, which in live action it looked like it might have been, but who knows, might have been a little bit exaggerated also by the gambler going down to the ice.
It could have been, but that hand was pretty high up into the face. I'm sure he got his number. He'll wait for later. Still being very good temperamental on the gamblers, not pulling one stupidly on a penalty, doing very nice, but I think they got to turn up the notch again. I think they got to push the issue on the Capitals. Capitals are doing a good job clogging the middle of the ice so far, and it's been that chess match game so far in the second period, back and forth, feeling each other out, but something's got to give here. One of these teams are going to try to do something for sure.
Well, in a 21-3 shot advantage, you really feel like you should be winning this hockey game, not tied at 1.
Right. I agree.
And the one goal was not really the fault of Enriquez as it comes off a skate over to the near side. It was a great shot, and defensively led him a little too close, as that'll be smothered by Heil on the distant wrister there that time from Maceo Phillips.
You know, we had a guy in front of that net taking his eyes, trying to create a little rebound action, all that stuff. And that's got to stay like that, but those shots have got to get a little closer, I think. I think there's room from the blue line to the tops of the circles to find more room to get those shots off.
Well, let's see if they can squeeze in a little tighter here to get better looks on Heil. One back out for Phillips. That got a leg. It was Conboy on the draw.
He's trying to catch that middle cylinder.
And now played the length on the far side. It's going to die before getting an icing call. Good job on his skates that time by Beanstalk, and had his stick held on the far side, and then a big hit here on the near corner. Maceo Phillips cruising through. Maceo takes the shot. That's about as clean as you're going to see a guy that's 6'6", 234 cruise through the neutral zone.
They even tried to hook him, and I don't think it affected him.
Oh, no, it's like stopping a tank. You need special armaments for that one.
Very true.
Maceo Phillips, we've seen the kind of physicality he can bring, and they're just working on his consistency a little bit. He turns it over a little too much. Sometimes takes penalties that are, didn't have to happen. Let's put it that way. But you're going to get that with a guy that's 6'6".
You're going to have it with that big guy, and of course the other teams that see him, they're going to try to invoke that out of him.
Well, apparently the Calgary Flames liked him well enough. They drafted him.
I see that, no doubt.
Well, you get a guy in that body who can skate well enough to play in the show by your evaluation.
Yeah.
And you're going to figure out what you can do to
help your team and make sure that you're getting everything out of your frame you can.
Right. Improve his play to a point. Now Carcone is tied up. I think that was some revenge for a hit on the far side. Not going to call anything there.
They let that go too. They're going after Greaves.
Ville Varala. The recipient of that shot. Double team on the far side for the Gamblers.
Easy, guys.
Gertis was the target. 7:34 letting a lot of things
I'm
go
about to say,
here.
that was close to too many men.
Here comes Carcone. Settles down. He was only man in. Now he drops it back. He's got some help. Shot comes on. Tough angle again. And a really smart play there by Heil as that shot came from O'Sullivan. We've seen that now several times from the Gamblers, trying to play it on net, hoping for a rebound, and they're not getting anything from Heil.
You know, and I think that he was trying to buy time to find a guy going for an F2 towards that post. He's trying to buy that time, like, where's my guy, where's my guy? I'm trying to get an indirect look for it. So if you don't have it, put it on net. That's fine. Look for the rebound.
All right. Gamblers pushing a bit again. Still officially no shots on goal in the period for the Caps. 7:23 left.
You know, and I got to believe that. I can't think of one that happened so far.
No, I can't either.
This happened last period, too. Well, knock on wood on that one.
On the far wall. Yeah, 3 shots through a period in 13 minutes is not optimal.
No.
But it is optimal to still be tied in that hockey game.
For them. That's the only positive thing you can bring out of it all of a sudden, but
that centering pass was off a skate. Not looking for it was Knutson. He had his back to the puck there as he got in front of the net. Puck just inside the blue, glove down, now swept away from Pitsley. All picked up by the Caps. Here's their chance. Coasia, no, off a leg on Stout shot. Good block there that time by the Gamblers, Cruz Martin. 4-on-2 for a moment for the Gamblers, but they were getting ready for a long change here.
Good try on the opposite corner dump on that one, too.
Yep, they complete that. Puck tip, so
here's where you got a chance.
No icing. Up for O'Malley, and then through the stick of Roosevelt. Just inside the blue from Butella. Taken right back by Samuelson. Butella, a name I called dozens of times, it feels like, last Saturday. Had a good game and a goal, I believe, for Madison, if memory serves. And I think that might be the first time I've said his name tonight.
You know, you have those days in hockey where you have those guys, you find your way, all of a sudden you're constantly finding the play. You have a nose for the puck, what they say, right? You're always around it. You're always available. You're always getting positive things done. That's how that goes right there. Trust me, I got a big enough nose. I know what that means.
Oh yeah, I unfortunately.
Yeah, you got a hawk
right
on you too. I see that.
Yeah, I do. I do. It's the DeRozier side of the family. Yep. The German nose. Back out to Fry on the draw, but it's going to be redone. Nothing I can do about it.
Nope. Nope, me neither. Here we go now.
All right. On the draw will be Capel, who wins it back. Near side, Fry trying to cut around Halfley, who's stuck with him. Oh, the puck came off the corner oddly again. Now back up to Fry. Sends it all the way across. That one gets through to the tender. That shot by Gertis. Now,
was that a shot on goal?
I would question. I'd love to see the slow-mo. That might have gone wide if he wasn't there, but they give him the shot.
We got to get a little better percentage on Henriquez. Anyways, give it to him. That's fine.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Now with 3 saves on 4 shots, still only at 75% on the game. Let's see it. Oh, I think that would have gone wide. I don't know.
I think it would have gone wide. Oh, who knows?
Tough job the shot counters have.
Yeah, you're doing it from the side.
Yeah, exactly. It came from an angle that'd really be tough to tell. What we need is like they have in golf now. If you're watching the Masters, they've got those tracers on there.
Oh yeah.
That predict where the ball is going to go.
They had that in professional hockey for a while in the NHL.
Oh, I remember that.
Terrible.
On Fox for a while there. Yeah, that was pretty awful. Tipped by the Gamblers. Well, they were trying to make it easier for people who are casual fans to follow the puck.
Right.
So it's dropped for Fry. People who watch more hockey than that pretty much knew where the puck was going to go
or where it should go.
Or where it should go, right. And got quite annoyed with that laser. That didn't last very long. Near side.
And what was the other one? The camera on top of the glass that went back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And tipped by the Gamblers. That launches it right up into the stands about row 6, maybe? over in section 209, and somebody got a piece of vulcanized rubber for a souvenir tonight.
Wearing a Hughes
USA.
jersey. Wearing a Hughes jersey. Gotta love it.
Yep. Yeah, good catch by you and by him to come away with that puck. Face off to our left-hand side in the near circle. Down to 5-0-1.
All right, odd man situation here on the draw. See if the Gamblers can do it with their number one against the spare line here, it looks like, for the Capitals.
That'll be Varela against Conboy. And the puck slides over to the near wall off the draw and comes out. Sent right back in by Maceo Phillips. Near corner with it was Brooks. Gives up for Grieva. Far side skating in, putting one in the chest of the tender was John Stout there that time. He'll retreat back to his defensive position, intercepted by Wooten in his own slot. Stout on the back skate, plays it over on the far wall. Near side, Maceo Phillips again. Off Wooten's stick.
Oh, that was almost out too.
Back up into the circle, and everybody's matched by the Gambler defense.
Here's the odd man you're looking for.
3-on-2, Jete. Now it comes back for the wrister. Chance from
Nice
Conboy.
try on that.
Yep, got it off the glove, then over for Wooten, who reverses. He's tied up by Bergeson. Wooten stick handling now to O'Sullivan up high. That got bodies. Not sure if it got through, but
looked like it might have.
Losing his stick
Oh,
on
got
the
a penalty
attempted
coming.
hook was Wooten, and
Yep.
he's gonna get the call. Now, should it be a call if it actually didn't work?
Yeah, the question of the century in hockey, no doubt about it.
I mean,
it didn't stop him, yeah, but you still did it. I mean,
it didn't even turn him much. He got just lost his stick.
I think it got high on him a little bit too, so it was pretty easy to see.
It's a power play chance coming up for Madison. Their first of the game. The Madison power play, 19.4%. They're just in the bottom two-thirds or bottom third of the league. 12th in the league with that number, and a very good penalty kill. Second in the league for the Gamblers, allowing 17.1. So still a strength for Green Bay. In fact, you know, as people talk about how far can the Gamblers go this year, when you look at special teams, power plays good, penalty kills solid, goaltending's great.
Yep.
Those three in the postseason can take you a long way.
A long, long way.
And they get the clear this time. 3:34 left in the period. 150 on the power play. As the Caps drop it back into their zone. Bergeson carries near side. Capel. Bergeson dropped by two Gamblers. Might have been a little bit of an overcommitment when you're already shorthanded, but the puck came to the Gamblers. They got the clear.
Hey, it worked. Gotta love it.
Back for it is Gertis. Circles around his own net. Drops back for the slingshot for Ryder. Ryder to the blue line. Poke checked there, and a
another
hit by
one.
Hafley. That's going to draw a penalty. Yep.
Can't
that
do
was
too
a check
much.
from behind or a board, probably. I think that's the right
Can't
call.
do too much.
Up high and with the back to you. You just want it not to be a major.
Right.
Which it won't
It's
be.
only going to be, yeah.
Going to call the cross check. It's always been one of my things with hockey penalty. You can call a lot of things. That could have been boarding.
Could
have been a check from behind. Was a cross check.
Yep. But
Who
don't
knows?
overdo it. In hockey, as former hockey players, and as when you go through the motions of a game, you understand what a 5-minute really looks like.
Right.
You know, like watching this, you know, he pancaked him. It was on the cusp. I'll give it that. It was on the cusp, but that's a 2-minute.
That had quite a bit of velocity to it, though, and he followed through with that hit. It's a good call, I think, for the 2 minutes.
Right, especially in a tight game, too.
Exactly.
You don't want to put yourself in that as a referee. I don't think you want to put yourself in control of a game.
Right.
Almost like the Badgers last night.
Right, exactly. 1:14 on the 5-on-3, and then there'll be another 47 seconds, but that all depends on what happens here. One-time chance from the middle, going to be stopped and not yet covered. It's still loose. Gamblers right away. Samuelson gets the clear after the save from Enriquez.
Way to dig it, way to get in there and own your own area. Good battle by the Capitals, too. Another out.
Cleared here by the Gamblers again. Yeah, that Wisconsin 3-on-5 situation on Thursday was highly questionable.
Yes, it was.
A lot of folks unhappy with the officiating in that game. Gertis.
I was one of them.
Sends to Capel, back to Gertis. Kaweja, patient, gets it to the goal line, gets it right back. Boy, they're packed in tight here, close to the net. Right across, and a great stick check down low by Morgan Brady.
That's the idea. You're trying to get as close to that net as you can. One quick pass across and bury.
Yep. Here's Kaweja. Sliding over, switching spots with Grievous.
Nice block.
That one's blocked by the leg of Harris. On the goal line and reversing is Bergeson.
Coming out of the box.
5-on-3 is over right as Grievous tickles the twine up in the far corner.
That ought to be both coming out.
That'll be really close.
Yes.
I think the goal did not get into the back of the net or past the goal line until that 1 second expired. It's going to be close. You can see the work down low. Bergeson back up for Gertis, and Gertis.
I gotta believe I was watching the door when that thing went in, kinda. It's 5-on-5, yeah. He was stepping on the ice, but
so
it was close.
Being 1 for 2 on the power play and a 2-1 lead now for Madison.
And just that quick.
Yep, 18-20 of the period. Power play goal. Technically a 5-on-4, but in all intents and purposes, it was 5-on-3.
Right. Nice job for the Capitals to take advantage of what was given to them, to take a momentum swing. Now it's up to the Gamblers to try to get that momentum back here if they can do it in the last minute 35 here.
That'll be Gertis from Bergeson at 18-20, and chance comes on. Closing the wickets was Enriquez that time, banked off the far boards. Played into the slot, handled by the Caps. Back for O'Malley at his own blue line, sends across for O'Sullivan. Lifting it in zone before getting turned around was Drabicki. Under a minute now to play in the second period. Put up 4 shots in that power play, if my memory serves.
Yep. Gamblers are looking to get a little rough here.
Yep, they're playing a physical brand of hockey right now, and that cost them a little bit there, getting 2 penalties. Only one was really part of the physicality.
Right.
The other was an unfortunate hook. Here's Tang, and that's poked away. There goes Brady up the near side, through to Wooten. What a pass! Wooten with a move, save made. Heil.
Nice try.
Wow. I don't know how Brady got that puck through to Wooten, and we got fisticuffs. Ooh, Conboy with a punch to the mug there that time.
Yeah. They could have called that third man in, running on Wooten too for the Capitals.
Well, Pitsley was the recipient of that punch, and he started barking to the ref right away. That was I believe, a closed-fisted, now still with the glove on.
It was a good pop.
It was a good pop.
Yep.
And we'll see what they decide, if anything, here.
So
far, they're not doing anything.
Just let it go. All right. Nice try on the break-in, though, on the goal try.
I tell you what.
The guy coming in right here, you'll see.
In my opinion, okay, now they're going to very late with the call here, but Conboy with a left jab there that time. And they're going to review it, and I don't think it's going to bode well for the Gamblers.
No.
To be honest, that punch there by Conboy is probably what they're looking at. And to me, it was fairly clear. Even in live action, we were able to have a pretty good angle of that here. And great job
if anything,
by the truck.
I think they'll even it out, if anything.
That's quite possible. And maybe the first hit, which was by a Madison player, they began the altercation.
Yeah, I mean, you had hands up in the face. We've seen that in the NHL on TV a lot of times where guys come and try to grab their guys away from a goalie, which you get to that level, fine if you're going to let that go, but you're talking at a USHL level. I don't know if you let so much of that go after a while.
Well, my concern would be about the matchup is that they weren't calling anything, and if they're going to look at anything, it's got to be that punch.
Right.
So we'll see. I understand your point, though, and it would be probably the fairest thing to do at this point with 21.3 left, but you also got to call it like you see it.
Right, here comes the calls.
They're going over to the Gambler bench.
Going to both.
Yeah. Referee to the Capital bench, linesman to the Gambler bench. Pat McCadden doesn't look real pleased.
No.
But so far, nobody's made a move. They have both box doors open here. But I guess just for the timeout, and they're still not going to call anything here. Looks like it.
Nope, going 5 on 5.
5 hockey.
All right. 21 seconds left in the second. We got people to cool down during the period. Probably what was said.
That was probably the first time, JP, that I felt like there should have been a call when there wasn't, when they've let stuff go.
Oof.
Wooten with a big hit on the near side, taking what the officials are letting go. Big hit on Fry for Wooten. Puck in the offensive zone, just 5 seconds left. Flip netward by Conboy, pops up in the air. O'Malley tries one. It's snared from well above his head by Heil. Some activity.
There's some activity at the net here.
Yeah, we're going to have some more pushing and shoving. And this is, I think, a result of them refusing to call anything after the whistle.
Like, I got to believe after they conveyed down here, they went to both benches, right? The referees and said, hey, listen, you got 21 seconds left in the period here. Let's get through this, right? Clean. Yep. Calm your teams down when you get in over the period. Come back full 5 on 5 for an end.
Right afterward, right in the circle. Looked like Brady put a hit on Gertis.
Yep.
I only caught the end of that play.
That's all I did too.
With the cheering of the fans, and I think that may cost Brady a silly penalty. The two captains come to the area in front of the scorer's table. They're going to talk this over between O'Malley and John Stout.
Right.
And, you know, if this ends up being a power play to start the third period, that is a case of letting your emotions get the best of you.
Exactly it, right? It's exactly it. You can let guys play so long if you're a referee, but it's got to be the understanding like, listen, we let you go for this time. And that's what's getting explained to the captains right now, right? Like going, listen, we let you guys play trying to determine the game, but after a while we have to start calling things, and it's going to be everything all of a sudden. That's the general rule of thumb when you're talking hockey. But it looks like the Gamblers got the sour side of this one, maybe both of them.
It seems that way given O'Malley's reaction to the explanation as he heads off the ice. So we are at the end of period number 2. We'll see what goes on the board in between periods of the third period start here as they're getting ready for chuck a puck. And we, on the other hand, are getting ready to welcome our guest back with us, and we'll have that for you in just a moment. Kirk Luedeke, the Green Bay Gamblers Director of Scouting and Assistant General Manager, joins us right after this. It's the Capitals 2, the Gamblers 1 after 2 periods of play, right here on The Spot.
All right, fans, it's time for Shot Clock 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shot clock.
There it is, even it out. Even it out. And then
It's easy. Just land in your pocket and be in the box fans and really get your program sponsors.
Alright, so you've got like 8 minutes. 8 minutes to be back at the 8-minute mark? Yeah. I'll be right back. Alright. I'm back. Alright.
So I'm going to ask you, I had written down a bunch of questions early. I think we're going to talk, I want to know about your scouting staff that you lead. How large is it?
I don't want to talk numbers. I just say, like, got guys all over, and you know, the key guys. I've got, you know, I'll say got a guy in Canada, in Europe, and then guys on the East, Midwest, and out West.
So
Keep it simple.
As you're scouting, what are the key moments or key opportunities to see players? I assume showcases. Obviously, you've got. So maybe you can. It's a year-round business, right?
Yeah, there's no break. You know, during the year, you're looking at showcases, you're looking at, you know, championship, you know, you have certain leagues in AAA that have their things, and then you've got your high school. When are we going?
They tell me
And then the other thing, like in the summer, it's the USA National Player Development Tournament, you know, for USA Hockey.
Okay. Trying to help be able to hear better into this. When we're talking, if you can kind of face me a little bit, just not totally because the camera, but I'm getting very little, so I got to read lips.
Okay, you got it.
How's that sound? Ooh, is that good? Okay.
I don't know. I won't know till we go. Welcome back, Green Bay Gambler Hockey here from the Resch Center on the spot. 2-1 Capitals through 2 periods of play. Caps get the only goal of the second period. And we were having such a great conversation with Kirk Luedeke after period number 1. We wanted to bring him back again for the second period intermission here. And again, Kirk is the scouting director and assistant general manager for the Green Bay Gamblers. We talked about the draft. We talked about the combine in our last piece. I want to know a little bit more about how you piece that 23-man roster together. I believe it is 23, right, that you need to settle on?
24.
24. So how do you get to that number, knowing that you're going to lose several guys off the roster here? What's it look like to be adding those players?
Yeah, so it is a challenge. You know, the bottom line is, you know, we have to maintain our depth charts and pay close attention to what the colleges are telling us, and just be prepared to fill in those holes. And we do that. We have an active affiliate list. Those are the players we've drafted in the past. But every year, your affiliates aren't going to fill all of those holes, and that's where the draft comes in. And we just have to rely on our staff to get out and pound the pavement all over the world. We're a global league. Find those players, and a lot of times it is matching, you know, addressing need positions and not necessarily best player available, which is how they tend to do it in the NHL.
Right. So you've got a scouting staff as well. You mentioned it's a global league. You must have a representative in just about every corner of the world.
We do. We've got a great group of experienced and hardworking scouts. North America's all covered. We've got guys all over the USA in all key areas. We've got guys all over Canada. All areas are covered in Canada. And then we do have one gentleman in Europe who's he does everything. He's probably the hardest working guy on the staff, and he knows everything about everyone, to include North American players, but we don't want to load his plate up too much.
No, I imagine not. And I know you've got the draft and the combine right now. Combine's a great place to see players. I know there are All over the country you have showcases throughout the course of the year. You're probably at high school games, and do you ever get a vacation?
Barely. August is the circled month on the calendar where things kind of finally slow down. But to be honest, if you wanted to go to a game every single weekend of all year, all 52 weekends in the year, you can do it. But I think if you've seen every game or if you've been to a game every day of the year, all that means is you've been to a game every day of the year. It's what you do with the information that counts. And so that's where that staff I was telling you about comes in handy.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been talking about new player acquisition, but during the course of the year as the assistant general manager, the Gamblers have pulled off some notable trades in recent history. What's your role in that process as well? You're always looking to improve the team throughout the season.
That's where live scouting the league is important. I still have to watch. I watch the preseason, and in a fall classic, I stay behind when the team is done, and I watch every team, so I have potentially a live report on every player in our database, and then I'm there to advise Patrick McCadden, our head coach and general manager, and just give him the best possible advice when these players come available. And Zach Wooten's a great example of that. That was a year ago, but that trade was huge for us because we saw an opportunity, and Zach Wooten was a player we had a lot of time for. We were able to get him, and then we also got a draft pick in that deal. That draft pick was David Roosevelt, so pretty good trade for the Green Bay Gamblers.
That was Waterloo, right?
No, it was with Omaha.
Oh, Omaha. That's
Omaha,
right.
yeah.
That's right. You had one with Waterloo earlier this year.
Yeah, we acquired Morgan Brady and Chase Jete from Waterloo, and those guys are tailor-made for the playoffs, and that's what you're trying to do. You're just trying to make a good team better.
Now, you've had a long and distinguished scouting career, I think all the way back to at least back in 2010, somewhere in that,
correct.
In that area.
Started with the Chicago Steel.
Yeah.
We won all of 9 games that year, so that's not a record I want to necessarily point to, but yeah, I was on that staff when we won 9 games.
Well, and you went to Omaha too, I believe, for
some
time.
Yeah, no, Omaha really gave me my opportunity to learn the front office side of things and learn the rules, and I'm grateful to my mentor, David Wilkie, for, he didn't necessarily let me do the stuff that needed to be done, but he certainly showed me how to do it, and I've gotten that opportunity in Green Bay, and I'm grateful.
So you've seen a ton of players, you've brought in a ton of talent, whether it be through trade or through acquisition through the draft. What's your best find? If you can think about, and when I say find, I mean somebody who maybe wasn't at the top of everybody's radar, but they were near the top of yours, and you were able to bring them in, and they maybe even exceeded your expectations.
Well, if we were really that good, we wouldn't be picking top players after round 20. We would take them a lot earlier if we really truly knew. But I would say probably top finds. Probably Lucas Peterson, 21st round, 312th overall. I remember that number because he reminded me that we waited 312 picks to take him. Ended up being second in the league in scoring as a D last year. Just finished up his freshman season at Maine. So that just goes to show you in this league you can get players in a lot of different ways, and that you don't have to take them all in the first or second or third round. If you have a deep list and you have a good staff, you will be successful if you can find those late round gems.
Well, your team's 2-0 over at the Combine you mentioned earlier. We'll let you get back to focusing on how you're going to get them through the weekend undefeated.
I'm focused on this game. We need a big third period, and I just want to say I'm grateful to the support we've gotten from the fans here in Green Bay, and it's an honor and a privilege, and let's go Gamblers in the third period.
All right, thanks a lot. Kirk Luedeke, Assistant General Manager and Director of Scouting for the Green Bay Gamblers. We'll take another quick time out. Come back and talk to JP Capo after this. 2-1 Capitals after 2. It is better for me. Thank you. Nice job. All right, JP. Tell you be quick, guys. The mic is still live. Oh, is that what we're watching? The mic is still live. Whatever. Welcome back. Green Bay Gambler hockey here on the spot. 2-1 Capitals as we head to period number 3. And JP, the Gamblers did everything but score more than one here. 27-9 the shots on goal. They did a great job holding Madison perimeter through most of that period until the 5-on-3 power play, and that's what cost them.
And that's going to cost you. You get to that point of a 5-on-3. That's the only way they scored on them. Okay, we all understand that in hockey. But now you have the battle. You've got to get that one back, and you got to get one more, possibly two more, to get you the win in the game now, right? At the end of the period, we saw the mess that happened. It evened out on penalties, so we're coming out with that. Will be even strength to start off the third period. Hopefully, gamblers, if you're a gambler, hopefully you're coming out with the right mindset now and getting things serious, but don't overdo it where you just keep getting into the box all of a sudden.
Yeah, and it's tough, I think, for a team that plays physically and that takes a lot of penalties during the course of the regular season, as the Gamblers did, most in the Eastern Conference. You got to tone that down just a bit here in the playoffs, but you can't stop playing your game.
Right,
so
exactly.
That's the balance that you have to strike, and that's the balance the Gamblers will try to strike here in period number 3, as they need to get a goal back, down 2-1 after 2. We'll be back with third period action right after this on the spot. Green Bay Gambler hockey continues here with third period action. House of Pains jump around raining down on us here at the Resch. I think the University of Wisconsin student body ruined that song, because they do this to start every fourth quarter, of course, in football, but they start jumping right away. I don't think you're supposed to jump until the jump around part. I don't have the cardio for that.
I'm just so amazed because that song first came out when I was a senior in high school. And it's lasted that long.
Well, I'm a little older than you are. I was probably a freshman in college when that one came out.
But I knew you then, though.
Yeah.
4-on-4 here.
Goeja drops it back near side to Stout. Cross ice, left to right on your browser or television for the Gamblers here in the third period, and right to left for the Madison Capitals. In their multicolored blue sweaters, we're on 4-on-4 hockey, as JP pointed out. Matching penalties headed to the end of the period. And the puck over on the near side now in possession of the Capitals. The evasive maneuvers on that far wall by Stout. Dropped it to the corner. Brady O'Malley in the box. Nice hit by Harris there right behind the net.
Yeah, he kind of had his way with him all of a sudden.
He really did. Gertis takes the penalty for the Capitals. They're the two players involved in the little fracas right after the two teams, or as the two teams were skating off to their respective locker rooms.
Well, the turnbacks are nice, but you got to get it down ice eventually, guys. Puck control turnbacks on 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 is what you're looking at, right?
Exactly. And it typically, I know you see it all the time in 3-on-3 overtime sessions, but 4-on-4, there's no need usually with.
No.
I guess possession is always critical. As tying his man up is Brady on the near side. Saw that last Saturday between these two teams as well, where the 4-on-4 action was pretty much what we just saw. It's over now, 5-on-5, 17:52 left. Gamblers need a goal to tie it. Take game one. Nothing can be decided here today, no matter which team wins. Best of 3 series.
You know, it's been really good action so far. See what this third period brings for these two teams. See who kind of mans up, as they say.
Just played past Brady on the near side. Carcone deflects it back for Brady, and he'll drop it deep and come off on a change. The rest of his mates had already gone. Long lead pass, misses the stick there that time of its intended target. Varela, icing waved off on the play. Chipped up to neutral. Here's Carcone. Carcone pokes it past the blue. A little bit of a rush here, and that one sent just wide off the stick of Halfley, who played very well, I thought, in period 2.
Yes, he did.
Far side, it's going to be Maceo Phillips.
Halfley's had a really good game overall.
He has, exactly.
There's the quick up.
Trying to get it to the third man in. It was deflected, but still controlled now out front. Backhand save made by Enriquez.
Big save by Enriquez.
Put the clamps on that Bergeson chance. A little stumble in their own end here for the Gamblers. Caught up on the near wall.
Jete got it.
Yeah, Jete now lowers his head, trying to get through Stout. Stout takes the puck, sends back for Brady. Brady now on the near side. Acquisition from Waterloo. And he has a partial collision. Looked scarier than it really was, I think, as Bergeson and his number sake O'Malley battle in the corner. Pair of number 4s. Still caught up there. No one able to poke it free. Now it comes out for Wooten. Wooten.
Good acceleration. Good acceleration.
Going north and south. He's got some room here. Right side of the circle up to the forehand. He was pushed.
Good move across.
He was pushed into the goaltender, so there'll be no call there as Wooten got spun down by that contact.
But way to get the defenseman's hip and trying to get across to the far post. The incidental contact on the goalie, that happens, but it's a hustle play. That was not a dirty move.
No, not at all. He was forced there. And so there's a good no call. And also it puts you in the mind of that goaltender a little bit when you got guys cruising right through the crease like that.
Oh, yes.
Kick save is made there as that got through on Enriquez with a little tip as well. Quick change of direction. Here's Sam To the blue, the red, and now the blue again Forced off it for Fry to take it. Fry hands off to Kaweja. Comes free back for Fry. Back for Kaweja now below his own goal line. Kaweja forced to circle back one more time by the forecheck of Drabicki. 3 men committed in zone here for the Gamblers on this forecheck. Glove down at neutral. Moving in, Beanstalk gets to the forehand and sends it wide.
Good try. That was the right try to go get that upper corner there.
And it was an excellent job getting that puck back to his forehand on the dead skate there that time. Near side, there's a chance for Drabicki that's blockered far wall. Some good contact over here on the wall by the Gamblers as well.
That they're getting back to that good hustle contact, not getting caught up in any BS. Just get the hit, get out of there, go get that puck.
It's feeling a little bit more like the first period now here in the first 6 minutes of the third. 6 minutes already gone by though. Shots on goal for the game, 28-11 in favor of the Gamblers, but they trail this one 2-1. Puck along the near wall, forced forward nicely by Gavin Katz. Carcone couldn't quite reach it, sent back to the far wall. Played there by Varela. Back into his own end, tipped then toward the net, and a good play.
That was offsides.
Yeah, forced to make a play there was O'Sullivan on Bergeson, but he was a few steps on the wrong side.
You can try to cheat, but you're going to get caught at it most of the time. Most.
Right. You're always trying to make that as close as you can, right? The closer you are, the better you've done from an offside standpoint. But that one, not close. Easy whistle.
Easy whistle. Got Mario on the big screen going across, looking good.
Is he going to get the flag? Now, there it is, easy. Actually, on the full 5,000 bonus. I imagine since we're both roughly the same age, we each played our fair amount of Super Mario.
Played a bunch of that Contra, remember that one?
I do remember Contra.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. There were some beauties on that. Blades of Steel.
Blades of Steel. Like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh, yeah, that was good. The regular Nintendo ice hockey, where you only played 3-on-3, but you could choose if you wanted the big boys, the chunky boys, or the skinny guys. I always took the chunky guys.
Yeah.
Oh, and they mowed everybody over. You couldn't stop the chunky guys. Of course, they were slow.
Right.
Reminiscing 13-23.
Great stuff. Here we go. Back to action.
That was 35 years ago. Do you realize that? Yikes.
Okay, we'll skip talking about that from now on. Good deal.
Bergeson has it taken away and then flipped along the wall. Samuelson plays it. He's crunched to the boards by Stout. Kaweja tried to feather it through there. It's going to be an icing call. Good attempt there that time by Kaweja, but that home run pass not completed and comes right back into his end. 13:02 left in the game, at least in regulation.
Harrison O'Sullivan coming out here for the defense for the Gamblers. They made a quick change here on that. Trying to line something up if they can.
You know, and the beauty of being the home team, you get last change. Match up however you want.
Nice try.
Shot up and over, and then it lands on top of the net.
Don't see that very often.
Harris with the blast that came back off the glass and just nestled itself right on top. Gamblers were trying to poke it off of there.
You see when Harris got that draw nice, and he dragged middle to get people getting to the net before he shot that puck. That's the idea. You're watching at home. You're trying to get middle ice as much as possible. You can control middle ice. You control a hockey game. Much better chance of winning.
Yeah, great point. The Gamblers have been doing that most of the night, frankly. Although the second period, neither team spent a lot of time in the middle of the ice, except for on the power play. And that was where, on an expiring 5-on-3 to a 5-on-4, the Capitals took the lead. And they do a nice job, strong work up the wall. Played up for Ryder, good coverage
Great
there.
back check. Great back pressure, great back check.
That was Rosseville on the play. Here comes Halfley, centered, chipped on by Harris, save, second chance, stopped by Heil.
2 big saves by Heil.
Second one came against Rosseville as Halfley made that play happen there that time again. Got the first chance for Harris and the second for Rosseville, but man of the hour, Heil on both stops.
Aside from my reaction there, but that was exciting.
Exactly. 11:54 and counting. 30 shots on goal. One has beaten Caleb Heil. Caleb Heil, by the way, is committed to North Dakota and also was drafted by Tampa Bay. This one's gloved down by Heil. So his greatness has been recognized.
It has been seen.
Yes.
Has been seen, and good for Tampa Bay to pick him up where John Cooper's the head coach.
Yep.
Former Gambler coach. Former, not a former friend, still a friend of a lot of people in this town. We miss him coming back up here time and time again.
Yeah, Coop, one of the Clark Cup winning coaches for the Gamblers. Gamblers have 4 Clark Cup wins in their history. One under Don Granato back in 95-96, Marco Sicchi in 99-2000. It was Cooper in 09 and 2010. And then Derek Lalonde. They beat Waterloo 3-2 in 11-12, but it's been a while now.
It's been a while. Like to see this team go the whole way. They've had a really nice run, and I believe they can get to the finals. I really do.
Absolutely. I think they're good in all the right places. And they slide it forward up the far wall past Carcone. Scooped by Gertis. To neutral. Little feed from Bergeson. Broken up, but back to Gertis. Now Bergeson knocks it down in the left circle. Tipped by the Gamblers as it goes across the ice and then held in once again here by the Capitals. Pitsley missed everybody.
Just missed a little there.
Coming out is Heil to help it out to Gertis. Length of the ice back in zone. Nearing the halfway point of period number 3. 2-on-2 for the Gamblers. Curling in along the goal line and losing it was Jete. Taking his man down right on top of the puck, forcing it free. Conboy tried to stuff it home. That was rejected. Back out to Conboy from Jete, and that one off the glass near corner.
Good look out to the pie slice on just off center. That's the stuff the Gamblers got to do to get back in this game. They got to start pounding now.
And they come out with it now through neutral, but they can't control. It finds Stout, near side for Fry. Trying to feather it through the feet of Brady and didn't make it, but now they send it deep. It's handed right back to Max Ryder there that time by Enriquez. So it's in possession of the Capitals with 9:22 and counting left here in period number 3. Gamblers down a goal, 2-1. Wooten circles in his own end. Capel was on him. Nowhere to go with that puck, though, as they got it to the blue line.
Good look by Wooten to try to get it up to the guys on the far blue line. Good catch. He was trying to make something happen. More and more that's got to start happening for the Gamblers.
Yeah, got it to Drabicki, but a nice reaction defensively there from Madison, and Drabicki really had nowhere to go with it.
Right.
As you see the Burns Cheese dance party.
Oh, here we go. We got some dancers up there.
I dance when I get Burns Cheese.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Who wouldn't? String cheese, very fine.
Oh.
I'm a connoisseur of the stuff too, so when I say it's good, it's good.
You ever make your own homemade pizzas?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can use that string cheese on the stuffed crust if you do it right.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that yet. We haven't done the stuffed crust.
Oh yeah, try it. So good.
Done lots of other. I make pizza out of just about anything.
Well,
you can make English muffin pizza.
Perfect.
You can make French bread pizza.
I miss French bread pizzas.
They're still out there.
They're out there.
My son makes Ritz pizzas. Just puts pepperoni on
Ritz
slice of pepperoni and cheese on each Ritz and puts them in the microwave.
Can't go wrong there.
No.
Quick zap and you got it, right?
Exactly.
Oh,
we go through those huge 2-packs of pepperoni from Costco on a regular basis. I don't know if I'm allowed to say Costco since I don't think they're responsible.
No, but everybody knows that place.
Held at the left point. Played into the slot. Kicked out of there now by the Caps and turned over. A little bit soft on that flip from Snee, but Gamblers couldn't capitalize on it. Comes to Stout. Back up for Snee now along the wall. Snee meets a pair of Gamblers. Turning it around is Martin. Cruz Martin gloves it down and holds it in, and a hand pass is the call. The next person to touch it after Martin swatted it was Drabicki.
Only a neutral zone face-off, so we're fine with that hand pass.
So we have a 2-1 game here. Elsewhere in the East, Muskegon over Cedar Rapids right now with 11:57 left, 3-2 in their first game. Tri-City trails Sioux City now by a score of 3-2. That one tightening up a little bit.
I see Lincoln is up 5-2.
Yeah, Lincoln leading Des Moines 5-2. Lincoln trying to force a game 3, and it's looking very likely at this point. Their game 3 would be tomorrow. Everyone else's game 2 is tomorrow. As the puck's caught up in the corner. Down to 8:10 now. Keeping a close eye on the clock because it's draining faster than Pat McCadden would like.
It has been a fast game.
It really has. Hafley could not keep possession. Comes back over to the near side. Roosevelt had it. He's taken to the wall, and he helps out returning the favor. Now the two are jousting as the puck is clear. Roosevelt was going at it a bit there with Grieva. Rehard's Grieva.
Don't do a flyby.
Picked up by Rossable. Rossable reverses direction, got a couple of guys out front. Rossable, the man on his back, flips Samuelson, couldn't quite reach it. Instead, Kaweja slides across for the exiting, apparently, Varela. Man down in the Gambler end, right around Michael Tang there that time. That one caught the linesman.
Yep. You're going to have that. Incidental contact.
Oh, yeah. Dangerous area there for linesmen and referees. They get pummeled in the course of a season. Well, they wear some protective gear, but not as much as the players. Here we go back the other way. 2-on-2 if Carcone can hustle, and he does. Beautiful play defensively first by O'Sullivan to force that puck away, and then Carcone was there to clean it up.
Great realization that I've got to get back and I've got to hunt that puck straight back to my own end. Good job. When things go wrong, and they do more often than you think, you got to make up for it.
Yep, that's how you respond there. O'Sullivan sends far side. Now he gets it back. Tipped on its way to the corner and handled by Gully. Done a nice job on Gully tonight, including right there with Capel whipping him into the glass. Bounding puck flip-flops its way to Enriquez, and he hands it off. Cut off on the near side was O'Sullivan. It goes right back to Enriquez behind the net. Pressure there now. Tackled on the play is Harris. Harris brings a physical quality to his game as well.
I was noticing that.
He's not huge. He's 6 feet 179, but he really brings
feisty.
The lumber.
He's feisty.
Yeah, he's got a lot of leverage behind his hits too.
Good balance, good stuff to have.
Yep, picked up to the near side to Ryder. Ryder rolls it off the dasher and slid over to the near side. Fry pushed to the boards. Fry eluded one man, couldn't elude the other. And it'll be up to Ryder to play it back in. It hits Beanstalk. And it'll be backhanded by Conboy into the corner.
Getting down to the nitty-gritty here on the 5-minute mark. You got to start really pushing the issue.
Yep, on the Ranger broadcast, it's the final 5. Yep, they're not making a call there as Brady put his hand to his mouth for a potential high stick here on the near side. No call, neither referee saw the play. It'd be interesting to see on slow-mo how much contact there was as it's gloved down as it came through the crease.
The stick was up there. I don't know if it was intentional or he scooped it into his own face. I don't know.
Yeah, we won't know probably. 4:48 left. In the third, Brady just chatting with the linesman is like, hey, good on you. Sorry we missed it.
Yeah.
I don't see blood. It wouldn't have been a 4-minute.
Wouldn't have been a 4-minute.
Nope. $1,953 to the 50-50 raffle winner.
Looks like it's on film there.
Why? That's a mistake.
No.
You don't want to put that on film.
No.
That's
I didn't win it.
Could be a problem when you get out to the parking lot. Picked up by Gertis. Just like winning a jackpot at a casino. That goes through the glove into the far corner. You don't really want people to know.
No.
Off the boot of the tender coming from the backside. Near side to Stout. And picked up again and slid through traffic by Ferguson.
Here's going to be a good chance here.
3-on-2. Samuelson tried to hit Rossival and couldn't. Rossival was tangled up by Stout. Poked up but not out. Held in. Harris to the slot. Sliding down to block it is Brooks. And off his body it goes up and out of play. And will keep the face off in that end of the ice.
You get on that initial rush. I like the thought of trying to get it off to the side, but in that case scenario, guys covered, rip that shot on net. You had a guy going as an F2 going, get that shot on net. Either it finds a hole or you get a good rebound attempt.
Yeah, I ended up putting it in traffic there that time, trying to make the better play, in his mind anyway, up to Ross.
Well, we all understand what he's trying to do, without a doubt. You know, fast game. That happens.
It is. Split-second decisions. Here's Gully on the draw against Capel, and it's picked clean by Ryder. 4 minutes remaining. 2-on-1 chance for Madison, and pulling that shot was Butella. Didn't put that on net there that time. Pulled the trigger pretty quickly and hooked it, like my golf shots.
I'll help you with that later on.
My irons. I hook my irons, I slice my driver.
That's not a good combo, Rosie.
It's not.
Well, we'll work on it. I'll get you out there.
Fry will play it. Back to the blue line now and to the Gambler blue where it's poked away. Save had to be made though by Enriquez on that wrister from Cover, and the Gamblers come back 2-on-2 and now 3-on-3. Job getting back defensively by the Caps. Nothing really the Gamblers could do there.
Nope.
Down to 3 minutes remaining in regulation. 2-1 Capitals. Shots 33-13 Gamblers. Trailing by a goal. Converted in a 5-on-3 essentially, 5-on-4 officially in period number 2 was the go-ahead.
A big question mark here on the next whistle. What does Coach McCadden do? Hopefully it's a goal whistle and he doesn't have to worry that much about it, but
exactly.
But now you got to start thinking about when are you pulling your goalie, get that sixth attacker out there.
Absolutely, and I'm sure at the next whistle, probably a timeout to talk about that.
Correct.
Gets one, hasn't used it. Beanstock to O'Sullivan, who turns on the Jets, weaves his way to the blue line, comes to the corner, dropped it for himself. O'Sullivan from the circle, still held wide. Now back for Gully. He'll try to reverse there. He's pulled at by Kaweja. Back for Katz on the backhand. 1:55 left. Goaltender well out of his crease, and here he comes. Enriquez comes off. Sixth attacker on. In front. Backhand save made. 2 chances after, and it's covered Squirted off to the corner where it's played by Stout, held in by O'Sullivan. 6
Guy
attackers.
doesn't have a stick.
And he goes back to his bench to get one. One save, then one rolls on from Katz's stick. He got nothing on it.
Nice tries on those attacks.
Several opportunities in on Heil there in that last 10 seconds. 1:30 left. The Gamblers likely to keep the goaltender on the bench here with the face-off in the Capitals' end, but we won't know for a minute because we're going to get a timeout.
Caleb Heil has stood tall all game long. The Gamblers just are doing the right things. They're putting pucks on net. They're trying to disturb them.
Yep.
And number 30 in the Capitals' net has been very, very strong this game.
Well, we mentioned the numbers for Enriquez, and Heil has the third best goals against average at .234 on the year. Only one tonight. His save percentage better than average. The 9th best in the league at 90.5.
And you can see why, how many shots he's seen in 37 shots, and only one of those got by him so far.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know the total count on the grade A opportunities for the Gamblers.
It's got to be up in the teens right now, I believe.
Yeah, I think there were several just in that last 15 seconds before we got the timeout and the stoppage. So both coaches giving some last-minute instruction here.
Last-minute instruction coming out, and this place is going to erupt once it starts. We know it.
And the face-off will be off to the far dot in the Madison zone. Draws so critical at this time in the game,
yes,
both ways.
Yes, they are.
Now, obviously, if the Capitals win the draw, they're looking to clear it. Sometimes you'll see guys try to be the hero and score the empty netter from a bad spot. That results in icing more often than not. But you also want to be smart about it. Don't get greedy.
Don't get greedy. Here it comes, big draw.
Samuelson will take it against Capel. There we go. Sat in the dot for a minute, then turned over by the Capitals to the Gamblers. Back for Katz. He keeps it moving near side. Trying to close out all time and space. The Capitals sent across. It's going to get a chance for Carcone. That's blocked. Carcone gets it back. On his backhand over for O'Sullivan. Drop deep to the corner. Back for Carcone. Carcone matched up there by Butella.
Ooh.
They're going to lose the zone here. Have to win the race to that puck. Good interference done there that time by Wooten.
Yep, we'll take that one.
Wooten holding his man up to allow his teammate O'Sullivan to get there.
Lost it coming in. There's plenty of time here, guys.
Yep, 50 seconds
Get
left.
control of it, plenty of time.
Yep, 6 on 5 and losing the zone, O'Sullivan on his own volition there that time, and chipped weakly and intercepted, sent toward the net, cut off by O'Sullivan, playing safety on that play. Here's Katz across it now. Heil.
Wow, that came off the glass.
Off the glass. Nice block by O'Sullivan. Lost his stick, but kept it in zone. Goes cross ice with it. Back up now for O'Sullivan. Down to 16. Puck picked. Sent the length of the ice.
Is the race, no icing.
Nope, no icing, because winning the race on the play was Bergeson. 7 seconds left, and this game's going to be over, folks. And the Madison Capitals are going to win Game 1 here at the Resch Center of this best of 3 in the opening round of the Clark Cup playoffs. Again, the final score 2-1. Last goal in the game was scored at 18:20 of the second on the power play by Gertis from Bergeson. The Gamblers got the scoring started at 9:59 of the first. It was Wooten from Carcone and O'Sullivan. Fry tied it for Madison at 12:10 of the first. So only about 2 minutes and 11 seconds of game time did the Gamblers have the lead.
You know, and the big one, you got the MVP of the game without a doubt is Heil. Caleb Heil for the Capitals in goal. Stood on his head. There's not too much you can do as the Gamblers go on that one. They had their opportunities. Sometimes it falls, sometimes it doesn't. But the positive is you have tomorrow. You can build off of what you did and show up again and keep motoring, keep pushing the issue. But now you have to. Now you got to keep going with it.
We'll take a quick timeout, come back to wrap things up. 2-1 the final score in favor of the Capitals here on The Spot.